Coming up tonight on YCN News, a bill signed into law today by Vermont Governor Peter Shumlin aims to keep as many jobs in the state as possible. 4 Vermont high schools will participate in a program to promote success beyond graduation. Will former presidential candidate Mitt Romney endorse former Massachusetts Senator Scott Brown for a U.S. Senator from New Hampshire? For more news, weather, and sports, it's time for YCN, your local view.
Now, your daily digest of the Dartmouth Lake Sunapee region, southern Vermont, and Windsor County. News, sports, weather, and all that is happening in our area. The news on YCN, your local view.
Good evening, and welcome to this Tuesday edition of YCN News. I'm Rose Spillman. Vermont Governor Peter Shumlin aims to keep as many jobs in the Green Mountain State as possible, and a bill he signed into law today will help him in that goal. Key to Senate Bill 220 is keeping high-tech jobs in Vermont. Not only are these jobs predicted to have more economic stability than other business sectors, they also pay better. The bill also sets into action the Vermont Strong Scholars Program, an act to make a college education more affordable and cutting-edge jobs in demand, including precision manufacturing and engineering and emerging green energy jobs. Also, this multifaceted bill adds $500,000 in state general funds to the $1 million available for new business startups, jobs with an entrepreneurial edge. Under the state's entrepreneurial lending program, the $500,000 will help safeguard the risks businessmen and women take when starting a new company. The jobs will have high value, Shumlin says, because they will allow more people to be able to live in the state while earning a good wage at a job with a promising future. It's the edge that Vermont can give to entrepreneurs and new companies compared to other states. Vermont is too small to be able to afford tax breaks to companies such as can be done in New York and California. But it can offer a quality of life and additional economic tools to give companies the edge they need to start here, grow here, and stay here. Staying in the state after college graduation is part of the bill Shumlin signed today. Under the Vermont Strong Scholars Program, students who go to college in Vermont and agree to work in the state after they graduate can now receive their final year of college for free. Companies such as My Web Grocer, Biotech, and Logic Supply are among those in Vermont who are thriving. Shumlin wants more businesses to be able to do the same. The state's unemployment rate is the second lowest in the nation, says Shumlin, and help needs to be given to businesses to set up shop here and stay here and expand. Meanwhile, Shumlin is running for re-election as governor. There are no other Democrats seeking the gubernatorial seat. He will be challenged by Republicans Scott Milne, Emily Payton, and Steve Barry. The 3 GOP challengers will face off in a primary race in August. Illustrating by specific example remains a great way to get across a new concept or idea to a target audience. That's the thinking behind how Vermont education leaders can inform residents about the 2013 Act 77 legislation. The purpose of Act 77 is to allow success beyond high school by allowing students different ways to achieve high school graduation. The 4 high schools chosen are in Brandon, Plainfield, Hinesburg, and Colchester. None are in Windsor or Windham counties, yet that's not the point of the awards given out today to these 4 schools. Education administrators know leaders from other Vermont high schools will watch and learn from how these 4 schools roll out Act 77. We need to spread the news about Act 77 far and wide, says Deputy Secretary John Fisher about remodeling the path to high school graduation. Under the Act, each student enrolled in a Vermont public school will have a personalized learning plan beginning in the fall of 2015. Schools will be expected to work with each student to identify his or her goals, learning strengths and challenges, and how each student learns best. The Act supports dual enrollment in high school and college to gain college credit at no cost. Online and video learning sessions also are possible under the Act. Fostering and helping all students graduate high school and move successfully into post-secondary education, work, or other options is the goal of Act 77. Small business owners in Vermont, you are not alone. It's been a little over a year that torrential rainstorms pounded roads and streets and pelted newly planted crops, damaging a just begun growing season. There is still time to apply for an economic injury disaster loan under the U.S. Small Business Administration program. July 21st is the deadline. Farm and non-farm business owners in 14 counties are eligible to apply, including Windham and Windsor. The loans are for working capital and can be up to $2 million at a 4% interest rate. Nonprofit organizations that experienced losses when the rain began May 5, 2013, also are eligible for loans near 3%. Borrowers have up to 30 years to repay the loan. For more information, including application forms, call the SBA's Customer Service Center at 800-659-2955. or check online at the website posted on our Facebook page. Also, an email is a good way to start the conversation by writing to Disaster Customer Service at sba.gov. Applications must be completed and returned by mail or online to the SBA no later than July 21st. Welcome back to YCN News. I'm Rose Spillman. Will former presidential candidate Mitt Romney endorse former Massachusetts Senator Scott Brown for U.S. Senator from New Hampshire? That's what the Associated Press is reporting today. Romney may come to the Granite State next week. Polls from an early June Boston Herald-Suffolk University survey show Romney remains a popular GOP candidate. Romney says he will not run for president again in 2016. Meanwhile, Brown is running against Democratic and incumbent U.S. Senator Jeanne Shaheen, former state senator Jim Rubens, and former U.S. Senator Bob Smith. Conservative Karen Testerman dropped out of the race for Shaheen's seat recently. A Charlestown man and the passenger in his car sustained minor injuries early Friday morning in Westminster, Vermont. The crash at U.S. Route 5 and Hinwood Hill Road happened at 3:10 a.m., Vermont State Police report. 42-year-old Michael Milano and a passenger in the GMC pickup truck were traveling north on US 5 when Milano went off the right-hand side of the road. The truck hit a utility pole head-on. The road conditions were dry and the sky is cloudy. The truck's front end is totaled, police report. No charges have been filed against the driver, according to police. No weather problems on Saturday morning, though. It was a beautiful day, so we didn't have to twist the arm of our reporter to find out about the Heartland Jazz Fest. Let's hear more about this amazing local festival.
The history is that my wife said I should do something for the community about 3 years ago, and so I joined the Heartland Community Arts Board of Directors. They were looking for a person. And they asked me what I could do to help contribute. And I said, well, I don't know how much I could do. And then I thought, well, maybe we could run a jazz festival. And I was half kidding. And they took it seriously, and we did. And so we had our first festival 2 years ago. And we had a rainstorm in the middle of the festival. People ran, and we thought that was the end of it. And the storm stopped, and people came back out of their cars, and we went on and we ran the thing. And so we decided to have a second one. And all the money goes to scholarships for art students. We give a scholarship to Fred Haas and Sabrina Brown to play jazz camp. And we just gave a scholarship to a youngster who's going to be able to spend some time at Amherst College this summer. And we do shows. The community arts does shows as well. And all the money goes back into the community. These musicians come and play, they don't say no, and we can't afford to pay them what they should get, but it's just been great. They know it's scholarship money, and so they work for a little bit less than they would normally, but we're just very lucky. That's Arthur Lipner. Arthur is my former high school student. He is considered one of the best vibes players in the world. We showed his film last night, the first film by a jazz musician about his journey through Mexico and Norway and Ghana, studying the creation of the marimba. And I'm so proud of Arthur. He was a high school kid whose dad did not want him to be a musician. And his dad said to me, Peter, I don't want you encouraging him in music. He's going to get a degree in biology, and he did. And the day he got his degree, he left for New York and became a famous musician. So he's back hanging out with me this weekend, and it's been wonderful.
My goodness. Arthur Littner, ladies and gentlemen, with a constant...
Mark your calendar for next year's event of world-class and local musicians for your entertainment pleasure. You can find out more at the heartlandcommunityarts.org website. If your community has an event that they would like us to cover, contact us at news@ycnnow.com or call 603-504-6692. Welcome back to YCN News. I'm Rose Spillman. Now Matt McDonald will have a look at our weather for the next few days and then move on to sports.
Thanks, Rose. Tonight we have a 50% chance of showers with thunderstorms. Skies will be cloudy with winds around 5 to 10 miles per hour and lows in the 60s. Tomorrow we have an 80% chance of rain and storms after 9 a.m. Temperatures will reach up to 77 degrees with winds around 5 miles per hour. Wednesday night we have a 90% chance of showers. Temperatures will drop down to the 60s and winds will remain calm. Thursday will be cloudy with a high of 78 degrees. We have a 60% chance of rain and thunderstorms, winds around 5 miles per hour. Thursday night we'll have a 30% chance of showers before 7 p.m. with cloudy skies and a low of 59 degrees. On our satellite maps, we can see a large storm surge headed our way, bringing possible thunderstorms tonight. The storms are expected to last until Thursday night, then partly cloudy to clear skies will follow. Now let's see what's coming up on our community calendar. Tomorrow in New Hampshire, the Hanover Farmers Market will be held at 3 p.m. In Vermont, Watson Park and White River Junction will hold Ultimate Frisbee at 5:30 p.m. At 6:30 p.m., the Lyman Point Park and White River Junction will hold a free Brady Crane concert. Then in New Hampshire, the Lebanon Opera House will have a performance by the Lucinda Williams Band and Kenneth Bryan Band at 7:30 p.m. Remember, you can submit local events from your community by sending them to news@ycnnow.com. And now it's time to take a look at the boys lacrosse game that happened over the weekend. This was part of the New Hampshire and Vermont Cup game. After Vermont jumped to a 2-0 lead, Londonderry's Nick Yannico got New Hampshire on the board. Hanover's standout defenseman Terry Garrity had a strong game helping to anchor the stout New Hampshire defense.
Let's go, Teddy!
Ben Orr of Woodstock, Vermont had a good game and goal, turning away a number of New Hampshire shots. But New Hampshire would go on to win 10-3. Other area players playing the game were Nick Donaldson of Woodstock and Connor Elliott Nags, Colby McGinn, and Sam Seagal of Brattleboro, as well as Hanover High School's Chris Washington, who was named the game's MVP by his teammates.
MVP, team chosen, will be Christopher Washington.
Leading the way scoring-wise for the victorious New Hampshire squad was Jacob Genest of Nashua North with 3 goals. The Granite Staters were coached by Sean Coffrin of Wyndham. Assisting Coffrin was Jeff Reed, who is retiring after many successful seasons coaching the Hanover Marauders. Reed was given a plaque to thank him for his contributions to the Hanover Lions Burns Cup Twin State All-Star Game over the years.